Hello everyone, welcome to Map Dragon Railways, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you how I service and how to service a Hornby locomotive that has a Ringfield motor. Now today's victim is the Class 86 I once got. It doesn't have a working pantograph, as you can see. It's actually a bit broken, but you know, it's a nice loco nonetheless. This tutorial, like I say, is showing you how to do the Ringfield motor, and the Lima's locomotives, some of them have a very similar motor, and this is basically what you can do with the Lima ones. Though if you wish to have a separate tutorial on the Lima version, then please do request below. Now, the first tools I picked out I might forget later on, but if I forget some, I'll let you know. Cotton buds, screwdriver, this is quite a large one, oil, which is like sewing machine or 3-in-1 oil, either one works great, and isopropanol alcohol, 99.9%, because that's quite useful. So what we need to do first is obviously take the body off, and this is where the screwdriver comes in, and we need to find the one with the motor bogie, which when you lift you can just see some gears, and I'm just going to go in behind here and press with the screwdriver, and it just unclips it, and it's as simple as that. But mind out, because there is a wire attached, so if I just spin them along as well as I can, you can see there's this wire that's attached. Now I'm just going to lie it down, and basically you probably won't be able to see this, hang on. So this clip here, you just want to gently wiggle off, like so. And now your body and that is all disconnected. Now you can take off the entire body if you wish, but to be honest, this is quite an easier method to do it. Another thing you need to do really is take the motor, the Ringfield motor. This is what it looks like if you haven't seen one before. And we need to take it out this bogie frame, and this one is quite awkward. You've got some lugs and all that, and I'm just going to have a go quickly. You can do it, and there we go. Just put the screwdriver in and unclipped. We can put that aside. Now if you don't want to do that, then feel free, you can use it. You can service these whilst it's in place, but it's so much easier. So first I'm going to look at this gear end. So yeah, it's a little bit grubby, isn't it? And what I need is to get the screwdriver on this brass clip. If I zoom in and show you here, you need to get the brass clip out. So what I do is get the screwdriver underneath, and it's very easy just to lift up a tiny bit, and it comes out, and then you can put that aside, which I can just leave up there. Then once that's done, all your gears will lie out. Now remember, big gears on top and little gears at the bottom. This one didn't want to move, and basically move them, if you want, arrange them in a position so you remember which one goes where. Of course it doesn't matter if you get the right little one on the left or anything, because they're the same. It's just that the top ones are large and the bottom ones are little. So we can give this motor side a good clean, and that's where the isopropanol alcohol comes in. I'm just going to take that zoom, and all it is just to pop the lid aside and get yourself some alcohol soaked up on a cotton bud, and just wipe over the surface, and this will clean off a lot of the muck that you've got. Isopropanol alcohol is really good for servicing locomotives, no matter how old or modern it is. It's always useful for cleaning stuff like wheels as well. So yeah, I'm just cleaning this rat up, and it's looking quite good. And you can see how filthy that is. So yeah, that's quite a mucky side. So we're not going to stop at that. We're going to do these gears, and it's just the same wipe over with the IPA coated cotton bud, and it shouldn't take long. Do both sides, because one side you've actually got a little gear which is what connects to the smaller wheels. I'm just going to get this clip as well that I was on about earlier, and just give it a very light clean. It's nothing important, it's just if a bit of muck's got on it. And that's that. So next up, I'm going to put this cotton bud aside, and we're going to just I put the lid on this IPA quickly. We're going to have a look at the brushes. Now, this is the bit that's quite annoying for some people, because the springs can just ping off anywhere and you can lose them. So it's always best to have somewhere to store these things. So I forgot to do that, so the bogey might be able to do the bogey frame. And all you've got to do is very, very gently lift this little bit of metal here. If I zoom in for you, these bits of metal here, and you'll find a spring underneath, which is, you might just be able to make out there, and just try and gently pull them out and put them aside somewhere to store it. And there is also a brush in there, but sometimes they don't want to fall out for some reason. Sometimes doing this and a tap will get them out. This one is just lifted and that's as far as it went, so we don't need to bother getting that out just yet, do we? And just lift the other side, spring out. I know my hands are probably in the way, and yeah, both of those brushes don't want to come out. Now, something that is best to do is clean the commutator on these, and basically the commutator is what you'll see just poking through there and up there, and this is where the brushes touch, and of course that causes a lot of sparking, and you need to have that all cleaned, because if you don't have it cleaned it can really take down how well your model runs. Now, your wheels block this piece, so an easier way is to try and prise these wheels up, which does sound a bit daunting, but it's actually quite easy. Just get a screwdriver in and lift it, and I'm going to try pulling it. No, you won't pull, but you know, you just do some lifting with it, and there we go. Big snap, and that's come off, and we can take the advantage to oil these axles. So I'm just going to wipe that one off on my hands, and I'll pop that aside. And one important thing to note is the gear side. So one side of the wheels has gears on them, and of course that's the side that lines up with your gears up here. So that's one done, and whilst I'm at it, I'm going to just clean up this bit of chassis, and I'm going to do it on this side as well. You can actually see the wear on this side from where the wheel's been spinning over the years. So yeah, let's try and get this other. In fact, I think I'm going to try without. I never put this into a full-on process. I just try it out normally at home, but whatever makes it easier for you. Ah yes, and also there's a clip on this side. I've just seen that, and you need to remove that. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? So I'm going to use the screwdriver just to wiggle it out, and there we go. And this should be coming free soon. I think it is almost free. There we go. He's just lifted up, and I'm just going to twist him and pull out, and there's your There's that piece there, and there is still a brush in there. I've just seen, so we've got one brush here which I'm just going to put aside, and another brush has got stuck, so I'm just going to encourage it out with a screwdriver. You can see how much the screwdriver is actually used for this this tutorial. So we just got one wheel, which looks a bit silly, but you can have a really good look at that commutator now. And it does look nice and shiny, but it also looks a bit thick with muck and horrible, and all this black shouldn't be there. So it's another job for the IPA. So we just need to remove the lid, soak it up with the cotton bud, and basically just clean this off. And if I just wipe that one, you'll be able to probably notice a difference. So I'm just going to clean this out. And if you want to be nice and thorough, get a pin, like a sewing pin, and go in between those gaps. Now, that's a piece I've just realised I've forgotten. So I'm just going to look behind me and try and pick out a small screwdriver that might fit. And yeah, that does fit. And basically, you just want to go through it 3 times. Now, if you've seen my how to service a Triang video, a Triang XO4 loco, then you'll probably recognise most of these stages. And that's because it's just very similar. It's just in a different format. So basically, I'll show you this bit here. And the commutator you can pull out, but it's held in quite well by this ring around here, and that's a really strong magnet. Yeah, I don't think I'll try getting it out, but yeah, it's held in by this really strong magnet. So now your commutator's already clean. It doesn't take too long to do. You can work this piece back in, and how I done it was locate on that pin there and slide down. Just move that out the way. So in the end, I've just decided to take off the other wheel, and I'm actually quite glad I did, because look, all that muck on that end, you could probably just make it out, and like that, it's gone. You can properly clean it with the IPA, as well as this chassis. And look how mucky my fingers are getting. So yeah, it isn't a very clean job, but it's it has to be done. We all have to service a loco if we have one. So let's just pop this plate on and see if it snaps into place a lot easier. There we go. He's clipped all into place, and there we go. Anyway, there's those pins relocated. We can fit in the wheels if you want now. So what we'll do is add a little bit of oil onto the axles, because these slide through a piece of brass. Now, you don't want much, a little bit is enough, but it's always good to oil your models, and just slide them through the correct hole. Now, I'm convinced it's that one, yeah. And all you've got to do is push the geared side on, and you can check your gauging if you have one of those fancy tools. If not, just guess. It's one of those tasks that can take a while, but once you get there, it's alright. So all I've got to do is repeat what I've just done on the other wheel. So there we go, the other wheel is now back on as magic. So basically what we just need to do is clean the brushes and reassemble what we've just done. So I'm going to reassemble that clip that we took off earlier, which should just easily slide on, because Hornby put on these nice clips which are very nice to have. So just get underneath, and that's already on like that, and that's quite nice. If you want, you can clean these contacts. I'm not going to today, but that's an optional feature. So I'm going to get onto the brushes, and I don't want to lose the brushes, and I'm quite petrified of doing that, and I've lost the springs on these motors quite a lot, but just because of how simply they just spring everywhere and you lose them. So I'm just gonna hold it carefully, and you can probably see how mucky these brushes already are, and that's clean enough for me. So I'm just gonna quickly pop it in there carefully, and that's that. And basically you have a spring under these brushes, well, they sit on top, and basically what happens is these springs make sure that the brushes are held down so they touch the commutator. Sometimes models won't work because the brushes aren't actually making good enough contact with the commutator, and the way to fix this can be just by stretching the spring a little bit. So that's one already done and in place. So yeah, that's quite good, isn't it? And we just need to get the other brush done. So I'm going to get a fresh cotton bud. So far I've used 2, and just need to make sure I don't lose the brush, and I'm just cleaning the head of it on there. Not actually as bad as it probably looks. I don't even know when I last serviced this, so it might have been fairly recent, might have been a while. I don't run this much, but from the looks of it I do think it's had a service fairly recently. It's just lucky enough to have another one after, well, just for this tutorial. So just loading back the spring. You see what I mean? It's such a little spring, and it just disappears. You know, you can lose them. There'd be some in my carpet, if I'm honest. But luckily, if it all goes wrong, I have spares, and it hasn't gone wrong, so that's all good. So that side is actually done now. So all we really need to do is reassemble the gears, and then put it in the bogie, and wire it up to the body itself. So my cup of tea is getting cold, so I better speed up a little bit. So I'm just going to oil all these pins very gently. Not a lot. I'm going to do this middle gear. Now just remember, there's a little pin in between those brushes, and you want to give that a little drop of oil. Not a lot. And that's commonly the source of why some of these make a horrible loud screeching sound, and it's because they're dry on that pin. Anyway, those are now oiled, so I'm just going to start relocating all these pieces into their right places, which is just a matter of sliding them in and pushing them on those lugs, and they sit loosely, which sounds weird, but actually there's the brass clip that we saw earlier, and I don't know if it is actually brass, copper, brass, whatever it is. This clip here, basically it just needs to slide into place. Now this is a thing even I mess up on the many logos I have, and it's simple to sort out, but it's just putting it on the right way. So I'm going to try where the pin pokes up. So slide it through this little bracket up here, and slide it in place, and it clips on, and yeah, that's the right way. You can see if you spin that, it spins everything and the wheels. We're almost there. In fact, I'm just gonna, all you got to do now is just add some oil. Grease is probably better, but I don't have any grease. But put some oil on the gears. And basically it is important that when you run this loco straight away, to let it go slowly, so then you don't spray oil everywhere inside the body of the model. So now we've got to reassemble this onto the bogie. So you've got to be careful with this. You've just got to try and find what end holds what piece. So I'm going to say it's that way round. I think that's how it was when I disassembled it, but I may be wrong. and I'll find out if I'm wrong, because it won't go together. So slide him in. Let's try and locate that lug in there. I think that's in place. It's hard to see, and I don't think that's right, because there's this big plastic block that's preventing that from sliding down. So let's just quickly try the other way, and this looks so much more promising. So yeah, it does just take some thought, and there we go, it's already in like that. So the next thing to do is just to get your body in that shot and get that wire we saw earlier. And it's a bit awkward on camera, but basically just mounting that wire, which is just easy because it just slides on. And then it's as simple as getting this clip in like that and push it in like so, because that back piece is on a spring or a clip. So that's that done. So without further ado, it's time to make sure it works by putting it on the layout, and if not, then I've done something wrong, forgotten a little thing. And if you do the same, just take apart again and just have a good look at everything and make sure you've put everything in the right place and everything's in there. So here we go, the Class 87 down and the moment of truth. Now, to point out, if you do have a Hornby Railroad locomotive like the 86 that has a pantograph, it might not work initially due to having a switch on the top. Now I'm just going to quickly show you this switch. If I just slide this loco along, and that's there, and basically that disengages picking up from the rail and actually picks up from a pantograph, which is a really nice feature. But you may notice we don't have pantograph here, Roger Bay. So I'm just going to pop that back down, and it's set on for running, running on rails. So I'm going to grab the controller and turn it up and see the moment of truth. I think it's, yeah, there we go. There we go. So it might just want warming up a bit. That's the thing of a service. Everything's all fresh now, so it might want to warm up a bit and bed in. But it's running. Let's try reverse. Struggling up a gradient, that's fair enough. There we go. That's not at full speed, but yeah, I think that's quite nice. He's stalling a bit, but I don't think that's part of the servicing's fault. Well, could have cleaned the pickups and that, but I think the track is quite dirty at the moment. So shall we test a slow speed? Well, let's be honest, this model has some age to it, and it's doing that. It's speeding up now, and that's because it's going down a hill. But you know, it's actually quite good. That I know I have some that are smoother. I think my 29 does a really nice slow speed somehow. But yeah, the Ringfield motors are quite a good design, and they're fairly easy to service, as you saw in this video. And yeah, they're in general quite nice. So I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, has this helped you out? Would you like to service a locomotive? What locos do you have that have the Ringfield motor? And please consider sharing this with your friends. Sharing this caring and helps the videos and the channel get out there and get viewed by more wonderful people. And please do consider subscribing if you are not already. This basically means the channel will grow quite a lot, and it will make me really, really happy. And you get to see more videos like reviews, running sessions, and maintenance videos like this one. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Cheerio for now.